So let us just start our webinar on master details in Angular. In this webinar, this is completely a demo-based webinar. We are going to write a lot of codes. What we are going to do in this webinar is that we'll be starting with project setup. Then we'll learn a little bit about Angular in-memory web API, because we are not going to make call to real API. And however, for purpose of this webinar, we are going to use Angular in-memory web API. Then we'll use $HTTP service to fetch data from the API. Then we'll see a scenario when we want to show detail of a master on the same page. Then we'll add routing and see that how we can show detail in another page. If it does not make any sense, don't worry. I'm going to show you the demo that what we are going to build eventually. But before we move ahead, let us see that this webinar is brought to you by Infragistics, and Infragistics has an Angular library called Ignite UI. You can use Ignite UI in various ways in your project. You can use Ignite UI using normal NPM, or we provide you Ignite UI for Angular toolbox in Visual Studio Code. So you just right click on install Ignite UI for Angular as an extension in Visual Studio Code, and then right click and you can add all components of Ignite UI. Of course, and the third option is that you can use Ignite UI CLI. Ignite UI for Angular has more than 50 components which you can use in your project, and it helps you, how Ignite UI for Angular helps you, that it helps you to build your application faster, it helps you to build high performance application, and of course you can use NPM for development. So these are the common components in Ignite UI for Angular, and if I take you to the website, here you can go to infragistics.com, and then you choose from design and development Ignite UI for Angular. We'll share a URL with you at the end of the webinar as well. So here you see that on this page you can find all information which you need to start working with Ignite UI for Angular. And you see that it has these many components, directives and services. Also we have a free Angular book for you, so you can go and download from here, and it has all Angular chapters which you need to start learning Angular. So on this page you can find a lot of resources. We help you to build your application faster. We help you in learning, and of course whatever concepts we are going to use today to create a master detail application, you can find that in this book, or you can read them on our blog. So go to infragistics.com/community blogs and search for Angular, and here you can find many articles written on Angular and JavaScript, and if you are coming from .NET background, then .NET and all. So please feel free to visit our blogs and our websites. You can go to infragistics.com and find all other products we do have as well, besides for Angular. So this webinar, if you don't know what is Infragistics, this webinar is brought to you by Infragistics. Infragistics has many products. We help you to write your application faster, and we help your application to run faster. Infragistics has products for almost all development stack. If you are a .NET developer, you can ASP.NET developer, you can use our ASP.NET controls. If you are WPF developer, you can use our WPF controls. If you are a React developer, you can use Ignite UI for React. If you are Ignite UI Angular, you can use Ignite UI for Angular, and so on. So when you click on our products, you'll find all our product offering. So I request you to go ahead, go and visit this page and see what is really useful for you. All our products are available to you on 30 days trial period. So before you have access to all these products with support for 30 days, and you can use in your application, in your proof of concepts. You can get back to us if you need any help. Today, so this webinar is brought to you by Infragistics, and during webinar, if you have any question, feel free to tweet it with hashtag Infragistics, or you can tag Infragistics Twitter as well. So this is about Infragistics. My name is Dhananjay Kumar. I am presenter for today's webinar. I work as Developer Evangelist for Infragistics, and you can reach me at dkumar@infragistics.com if you have any other if you need any other information or help even after this webinar. Great. So today we are going to implement master details in Angular application, and I assume that all of you know what is master detail scenario. Like you have product, then there's a product page, and there's a product details page. We are going to use these many concepts. We are going to use in-memory web API, we are going to use services, we are going to use routings, we are going to use component communication and reactive forms to build the whole application. Again, if you are new to these concepts, feel free to download that essential book from Infragistics from Ignite UI for Angular homepage. That book is free for you. You can learn all these topics in a step-by-step manner from that book. We'll share URL with you at the end of the webinar as well. So let us see that what we are going to build. This is completely going to be a live coding based webinar, so you have to be with me on a step by step. I have already hosted the demo which we are going to build, project we are going to build in today's webinar at this URL. So if you go to stackbleach.com in your browser right now, stackbleach.com/github/development.net/master-details-angular. If you put this URL, you should go to this page. So you go to this stack bliss page, and then you can run this. So here's the application which we are going to make. So here's the application which we are going to make. As you see that we have products here listed. This data is coming from in-memory web API, and we have two options. So first option is that you want to show details on the same page. So single page is selected there, and as you select that you want to see details of product ID 2, when you click on this, you see that you are having details on the same page. And here the concepts being used are component communication and all. And as you close it, then if you want to see details on different pages, so select from here multiple pages, and as you click, you see that we are navigating to different page, and even URL is getting changed here, and you are having detail on a separate view, and here you are back. So when we implement master detail scenario, I have seen sometimes people put details on the same page where you have the master data. If you go through angular.io website, even in their official documentation sample, they have put details and master on the same page. So we have implemented that here, like where you have details and master on the same page. This is one component, the first table which you see with the master data, and the second is the another component. We are passing data from parent component to child component and so on. I'm going to show you that how we can do that. Second scenario is that which most of the time we implement, that we put our detail on a different view, and here I have selected on the top that multiple piece, and then if I want to see detail of product ID 4, I click it here. You see I have navigated to different view. On the top, products details /4 URL has been changed, and here is your data. And as I do back, I'm back again here. So at the end of today, we are going to implement this whole application, and already the whole source code is on the GitHub, which I just published on the GitHub like 2 hours back. We'll again share this URL with you at the end of the webinar, so that you can clone it and play around it. So let us get it started. Let us start building this application and see how much we can do that. Okay, so most of you are asking what is the demo URL. The demo URL is I'm going to put it in the chat window for everyone. Again, so I guess now you should have the URL with you. Okay, but now don't focus on the web, on the URL, right? Let us go and build project step by step. Great. So what I have done here, I have created a project using Angular CLI. That project has nothing. That project is right here in front of you. Okay. And right now, when you run that that project has only these products listed. Nothing else in that. Nothing else is in that product. That project. Now, step one, what we need to do, we are going to work with Angular in-memory web API. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to first in step one, I'm going to add dependency for Angular in-memory web API and set up this. Now, what is Angular in-memory web API? So assume that when you in Angular, when you work with real applications, what happens is that your data resides on the server and you work with data through a REST API or web API. Now, it may happen that when you are writing your demo application or when you are doing development, your server is not ready, your API is not ready. In that case, how you are going to fetch your data, how you are going to have some data for your development purpose, such that that data, you access that data exactly the same way you access data over the API, like using $HTTP services and everything. And when your API is ready, you just override that fake data. So Angular provides you something called Angular in-memory web API, which we are going to use to fake our data. So to work with Angular in-memory web API, very first thing what you got to do is you got to install Angular in-memory web API in your project. And for that, what I'm going to do, here is my project. Okay, so I'm saying that npm install Angular in-memory web API in save dev, such that we want to install it locally to this project. Okay, so it will npm and install Angular in-memory web API to our project. It should take few seconds. Once that is done, we are going back to our project. In the project, what we want, if you go to our demo again, so here is our demo application, right? So in our demo, we have products and product details. So first we need this product page, and then we'll see that how we can work with product details page. So first let us create an entity class called products, and for that what I'm going to do, in our code, I'm going to add a file. Okay, so in our product, I'm going to add a file called product.ts. So here, let us come here to this, and okay, and here we'll say that to our project, add a file called product.ts. So here I added one entity, one file, and I'm going to add a class in this called product, and this has nothing but three properties: ID, title, and price. This is our this particular entity class represents the master of our application, which is product. So here we have in step one, we created product. Next, what we want product details, and for that, what I'm going to use, I'm going to add another file called product details in our application. So here it is, and let us go and add one more file. You call that file as product details.ts. So here we have product details.ts, and that has this product details entity class has ID, title, price, in stock, expiry date, color, manufacturing year, and country made. Keep in mind that here I'm working with in-memory web API. So to create a relationship between two entities, I have some I have ID at both entity class and all. In your scenario, you can have API where your API is fetching data from a relational database such as SQL Server and Oracle. Then your database schema may have different. Your database may have different schema. But for purpose of this demo, I am creating this. Now to work with in-memory web API, you must have an ID column because that is kind of primary key and that is required to work with in-memory web API. So what we have done so far, we have created two entity classes which are representing our product master data and product detail data. That's it. So our entity class is created. Now let us create a class to generate some fake data for our application. And for that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create another file here, and in this we'll say product. So what we have done, I created a file called product in memory data.service.ts. Okay, and this file, first what I need to do is that this file has a structure like this. So here we are saying that export is it font good enough for you? Okay, so we are saying export class product in memory data service, and it will implement in memory DB service, and it has a function called create DB. Okay, and we need to import this in memory DB service, and we can import that from Angular in memory.web API. Great, and it has something called create DB, and this create DB actually returns the collection which you are creating. Let me just first go and okay. So here I am this create DB. So what I'm doing, export class product in memory DB service. This is your class name, and it is implementing in memory DB service. So this is this particular interface you have to implement in Angular in memory web API service, where you will be generating that fake data. It has a function. It has a function called create DB. Inside that you create that fake data. So great. So here I have create DB, and it should return the collection which we want to return. Great. So here it is export class product in memory DB. Now what we want to do, we want to return two collections. One is for products and one is for product details. So here let me go and say constant and products, and type of this would be product array. Okay. So this is our one collection. It is representing your products, and second would be product details. So we say product details, and type of this will be product details. Great. So we do have these two collections which will be returning from this create DB. So here pass products, and then here we need to pass product details. Great. Now let us go. So far let us summarize what we have done. We created two entity classes here, which is representing our master and detail data. Then we have this product details here. Then we are creating a service to create for Angular in memory web data web API. For that, the signature is that you got to implement in memory DB service, which we are doing in line number 8. That service has that particular interface has a create DB function method. That function returns the collections you want to create inside in-memory web API, which we are returning in line number 14, products and products detail. In line number 12 and line number 13, we created two array. So right now it is empty for products and products details, and type of that is product and product details. Now let us go ahead and replace this empty array with some original data. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to paste some data. Great. So here you see that we have 5 data: ID, price, and title. This is for products, and for these product details also, let us go and put some data. So here also we have, I'm just copying pasting some data here. Great. So we have here, you see that data created for products, ID, price, and these 5 products. For product details, again we are matching this ID here, and then it has extra information. So almost our data is ready. Keep in mind that in real project, this data should come from your API. You will be not creating that in Angular in memory. You will not getting that in Angular in memory web API. Great. So once this is done, our next step, what you got to do is you have to return that products and product details, which we are already returning here, products and products detail. Great. Just make sure that these are same. Okay. Now you got to import this service and put in your application module. So I'll go and open app module.ts, and in app module.ts, what you got to do, you got to import that. So app.module.ts, and here in the imports area, I'll say that okay, hey, import that product in-memory data services we created. For that, we have to first import in-memory web API from Angular in-memory web API, and then product data service which we created here. So here you see that in line number 16, what we are doing, we are just importing that module in-memory web API module and passing the in-memory web API service which we created here, so that it will generate the data. Great. So in some way we have our API ready. We created that API which we are doing here. So our step 1 is done. Now step 2, let us go ahead and in step 2, let us go ahead and consume that API using $HTTP. Great. So for that, what I'm going to do in our project, I'll go and use Angular API, Angular CLI to create a service. I'll say ngg service app, create a service called app. This command should generate Angular service in our project. Yes, so it has generated here, but before that, to make an API call, we need another module that is called HTTP client module. So let me go and import that as well in our application module. So here I have imported HTTP client module. Now let us go to app.service.ts, which just got created. This is an empty service, and in this we are going to fetch that data which we just created in memory web API, in Angular in-memory web API. So for that, again, what I'm going to do, very first you have to import HTTP client and operators of RAJs. So here in line number 2, I'm importing HTTP client, HTTP header, and line number 3 and 4 RAJs operators. Great. Once that is done, let us go ahead and import our Let's go ahead and inject HTTP service to make call here. Here I am saying that private HTTP client. We use this to make a call to the API. Now we have two URLs. And how in Angular in memory API your URL gets created. So you remember that we had a collection name called products and another collection name called product details. So this is the name. So your URL would be API slash. If you don't configure, if you go for the default value, your collection name. From our Angular in memory web API, we are returning these two collections, products and products details. That's why our APIs are products and products details, the URL. Great. Once this is done, let us go ahead and create a header that we want to work with content type application JSON. So that's I have created another header which in this scenario we will be not passing because we are not creating any data. However, if you create data or update or delete, you may have to pass headers to specify that content type is application JSON. Great. So once this is done, let us go and write. Let us go first and write function to get products from that URL. For that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to write a function called get products, and this function will return me observable of product array Okay, so this is a function, and for product we need to again import it from product. Great. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to say that hey, and this code is going to be very super simple. What I'm doing in line number 24, I'm making a get call. I'm making HTTP get operation on the object of HTTP client, which we injected in line number 18, and in that we are specifying the type, that what type of data we are expecting as a response of HTTP request. Then we are passing this API URL which we created here, and whatever data is coming, we are tapping that data just to display that whether we are able to whether that data is returning correctly or not. So we are logging that to the console, and if there is any error, we are using catch error operator, and in that operator we are passing the handle error function. And here you can create a handle. Let us go ahead and create a handle error function where we'll just say that just will return, will throw the error which is being returned, and display that console error. So here this is get products function method in our service. We are performing get operation again in line number 24, and using pipe we are combining two operators, tap and catch error. That's it. This is what all you need to do to make a HTTP get operation request to web API. Keep in mind that if while creating a real application, you should create your real server API with the same URL pattern. If that has the same URL pattern, you really don't have to change anything in your service. You just have to do some configuration change in app.module where you are importing in memory web API module, and instead of going to local in-memory data web API, and we will go and fetch data from the real server. So here we have created that get products. In the same way, very quickly, let us go ahead and create get product details as well. It is exactly the same as get products. So another function, what I am doing here, that hey, get product details, and since we need details of a particular product, so we are passing number here, and type of that is product details. Okay, and again here what we are doing in the URL, we are appending that ID because we want record of a particular ID, and then again here we are just performing get operation in line number 34. Great. So far our API is ready, our service is ready, which is making call to the API. Now only we need to use it to create our master detail application. So here is our step 2 is ready, that consume the API using $HTTP. Great. So now let us go to our next step. In next step, what we are going to do, in next step we'll first display this data. Okay, so let us first go ahead and display data. Now to display data, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create another 2 components. One is the product component, another is product details component. So let me go and create component products. Here again we can use this ngg component. So here I'm saying ngg component and products, so it will create a products component for me. And I'm using Angular CLI to generate that. Great. And the next I'll say ngg product details. Now in the product component, let us go and start. So here it is created. Now let us go and first in the products component try to fetch data, and here we have these products created. Right here we have a folder products. Go to products.component.ts, and again to fetch that, nothing much we got to do, is very simple. Very first let us go ahead and create array here, variable to access that. So I'm saying products product, and then we got to import this product. Okay, then we need to make a call to the server, and for that what we got to do, in the constructor we have to import the service which we created, inject the service which we created, app service. So here I'm saying private app service. So we are doing nothing here but just trying to fetch data from the service in the component. So here we have in the constructor we injected that. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to here write a function to get products, and again it will be super simple. In this product, what I'm saying, in line number 18 I created a function get products. In this I'm saying this dot app service dot get products. You remember we created this particular function right here, get products. So we are calling this. Okay, and since get products is returning an observable, so we got to subscribe to that observable. We are subscribing that, and whatever response is coming, we are assigning that response back to this local variable products in line number 20. It's a very simple code. Again, since get products is returning you an observable, and it is returning an observable with the type product array, in product component what we are doing, we are subscribing to that observable right here, and then we are assigning that return data to products. So here it is, get products function will make a call to app service and fetch data for us, and inside app service is internally using $HTTP, which is object of HTTP client, to make a HTTP get operation. And here we'll say this dot get products in ng on init to fetch data, to make this to make a call to this particular method. Great. Now let us go to HTML. In the HTML, what I'm going to do, we'll just display this table here. So let us go here and say that product component or HTML normal, nothing here. We just take this guy from here, and we'll say that here table ID title price then ng for let pure products. In that we are displaying ID title price, and then I have put a button as well. In that button, what we are going to do, when we click on that button, we should go to details, and that button is calling a function called product details, which we make, and in that we are passing ID. Now we have created this products component and we want to use it, and this product component can be used with app products. So let us take this from here and go to app.component.html, And right here, what we can do, we can take this guy and say that, okay, we want to use app products like this. Great. So if everything is correct, we should have this products displayed. Let me go and run this. So let's say ng serve. And in the meantime, again, let me go ahead and walk you through the code. What I am doing, in line number 13, I have implemented the service, injected the service. Okay, all these dependency injection will be taken care by Angular. Then I am using this object of the service and calling getProducts method, which is returning, which returns an observable. So subscribing to that and then assigning that data to products. Great, and then calling this .getProducts. The normal in using ng for iterating through all items in the array and displaying using interpolation here, p.id, p.title, p.price and everything. Great, so this is very normal thing we have done so far, and as it compiles, we'll run this and see what output we are getting. In the meantime, if you have any question, you may feel free to ask me. If you have any question, please feel free to use Q&A panel to ask me. Great, so it is Webpack compiled successfully. Go to browser and open this localhost 4200. Wow, so you see that we have data here coming one pane, and now these details will not work because we have not written any code for that. Okay, great. So we have data, we have the master data. Now we need to implement this details data. So we already have this display master data. Now in step 4, what we are going to do, implement details on the same page. Okay, so what we are going to do, we are going to implement details on the same page, and for that we already created here a product details. Okay, and let us go ahead and start implementing these product details. So in product details, you know that we need that ID would be passed from the parent component, which is a product component, and for that we need to use component communication and input decorator if we want to pass data from parent component to child component. So here we are using input decorator and ID, and here add input, we added that. Okay, so here it is. Now what we go, again we need to fetch data from the service. We need to use a service here, so we will go ahead and implement service here as well. So we implemented again, we injected again service in the constructor of product details as well. Once that is done, and we have this ID which will be passed from parent. Okay, now what we got to do, we got to fetch data as we did for the master. And for that, let us go ahead and implement a method called getProductDetails. In getProductDetails, again, this.app service getProductDetails, passing the ID, because if you remember, this getProductDetails here which we created in line number 32 actually looks for ID input parameter. Great. So here we have this, we are passing that ID, and whatever is coming, we are getting the data in the product. And let us go ahead and create a product variable of type product details. So here it is product of type product details. So this is what we have. Now we fetch the data and everything. Now what we need to do, we need to display it. Again, this is very simple. Go to HTML, and in the HTML we are going to display the details. So go to product details.html here, And again, nothing here, just very simple code. We have taken this ID, product.id, title, product.title, and displaying them in tables, column, and rows. Great. So this is here we have this product details displayed. Now what we need to do, we need to pass this ID and we need to use this on the main product. And for that, let us go back to product.component.html again. And in product.component.html, how we can do, we can take this app product details, okay, and on products.component.html, in this is products.component.html. It has some t body and div. Below this table, let us say that here I want to use this app product details, okay, and I'm going to put this app product details in a div of its own. Okay. We really don't need this div, that is unnecessary there. Okay, so app product details. In this app product details, however, we need to pass the value of that ID using property binding. So let us go and pass that ID as selected ID. So here what I'm going to do, I'm taking this guy and saying ID equal to selected ID. Now we need to work with selected ID, and for that open product.component.ts. In product.component.ts, let us go ahead and create a variable called selected ID. So here in product.component.ts, open that and put this selected ID as number. Okay, and also if you look at here, what it does that when you click on this button which says details, you are calling a function called product details. So we got to create that product details function, and right here in the product.component.ts we can create that here product details. Okay, and now for product details, what we can do, we can just say this dot selected ID as a data. So now we have that selected ID and the data is being passed, and let us just console or log this, that whether we are getting correct ID or not. Great. So what I have done here, I have created a product detail component. In that product detail component, we are passing ID from product master component, which is parent component in this case, and that's why we are decorating it with input. Great. And then again making call to get products detail, and that's it. In the product details.component.html, again we are just displaying that data. In the product component.html, when you click on that button, that particular function will be called, where we are setting that ID value in selected ID variable, and using the property binding we are passing that. So now if everything is okay, here it is. We can get rid of this as well because it is coming in advance, but see how it goes. Great. So we encountered some problem, but before that, let us see what is in it. So it is saying ID of undefined, which is fine. What I'm going to do, so since we are doing live coding, it is good that let us debug it at what is happening here, and that will give you a good perspective as well. And anyway, this whole source code is there on your GitHub. So what I'm going to see, we are saying that hey, display this particular div only, okay, if this show details is set to true. Okay, now what I'm going to do, we'll go to product.component.ts, and in here let us go ahead and create a okay, and here let us go ahead and create a show details equal to false. Okay, and then when we are doing that, right here we'll say this dot show details equal to true. So by default it will be false and true, and let us see that whether we are able to call this product details or not, which is here, product details. So let us go ahead and run it. Right now there is nothing. When we click on this details, okay, so that is there. So we are facing some problem in bringing. So see, we are able to get this particular ID correctly. If I click it again and go down, we got 2, then we got 1. So what is happening is that we are able to get that correctly. So there is some problem in our product details, and let us go ahead and fix it. And the problem is we are still not calling this get product details, right? And we need to call this get product details, and on the purpose I created that problem for you to explain you something very important here. Now keep in mind, step 1 is product details component is child component and product component is parent component. You are passing value of ID from parent component to product details component. Now if you call this get product details method inside ng on init, what would happen? That the first time whatever is the value of ID would be taken by product details component, and it will make a call to get product details on that only, because ng on init lifecycle hook gets called only once in for the component. But it may happen here is that your user is keep selecting different IDs here. So each time a different row is selected, you need to make sure in product details component that this function is being called, and that can be only done on a lifecycle hook called ng on changes. So ng on changes lifecycle hook of Angular components gets called whenever any of these input parameter value changes. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to here open this. I'm going to implement ng on changes lifecycle hooks, and for that, what we've got to do is on init, and then we'll say on changes, and right here ng on changes. Okay, and in this we'll say this dot get product details. So we are calling that inside ng on changes, and now let us go ahead and run the application right here and click on details, and you see that you have the data for product ID 3. As you go ahead and change it to 1, you have data for product ID 1, then you change here 5, you have data for product ID 5. Great. Now how to close this detail? For that, what I'm going to do to close that, let us go ahead and add a close button on the product detail. So for that, what I'm going to do, going to product details.component.html, and here, right here, below the table, let us go ahead and add a button called close, and on that we'll call a function called close. Great. Now what I'm going to do, we need to write a function called close. Now keep in mind that whenever user will click on this close button, what we got to do, we got to make sure that for the product component, this this show details have been set to false. So we need to emit that event and handle that in the parent component. So for that, here in the, let us go ahead and create a function close, and here we create an event called close it of the type output and event emitter. which is here. Again, if you are new to this topic, please go ahead and download that Angular Essential book, which is on our website. It is free, that reference card book, or you can read all these topics on our blog. Great, so here we are emitting this close ID, and when we click on this close, this is close ID.emit. Now what we need to do, we need to handle that in product component, and for that let us go ahead and we can handle that using event binding here, right here, and we can say, hey, close it, and then the function name is close details. Okay, and go to product.component.ts and then write a function called close details. So here we are, and we'll say that write a function close details, and which will make this dot store details to false. So now we have a close button as well. So here's the product details, and you have the details. Then you are taking details of the fourth ID. When you click on close, that is gone. See? So what we have done, we have implemented the details on the same page. Again, to summarize, to implement master detail on the same page, the concepts which you need to know is component communication, input and output decorator with event emitter. Of course, you need to know how to fetch data from API, which we are doing in app.service.ts, how to use HTTP, how to use observables, RAGS operators, and everything. It may look like to you that there is a lot of code here, but trust me, these are very simple code. There's nothing advanced in there. We are just making call to Angular in-memory web API using HTTP client. Once data is with us, we have two components. One is for master data, one is for detailed data, and then just we are mapping them using input, output, and input and output decorator. So this is how you can implement master detail on the same page. Now let me see that how we can implement master detail on when we navigate to different pages, different views, and we create single page applications. So not actually different page, but different view within the same page. And for that we need to work with Angular routing. Great. So what I'm going to do, what I'm trying to do here is, for the routing, for the detail view, I'm getting another component when we go through routing, and for that here I am. Okay, let me first go ahead and say ngg component. Okay, so I'm just saying that route product details, creating another component here. Okay. Great. Once that component is created, you have this route component details. Go to route component.ts. Again, it has nothing, the same code which we did for product details. I'm just going to copy paste them. Product details. Okay, we need to fetch data here as well. Then in constructor, private app service. Okay. Then what we need get product details. So here again get product details, same, and then app service. So what we did for product details previously, I'm just copy and pasting that in this component as well. So we have this component here. Let us go and create HTML for this. So our HTML will look like this. For again the same HTML which we created here. So here is our HTML. Okay, so this is our HTML where we are just again displaying everything. Now here we need to pass this product ID. Right now this product ID is like kind of not set. We did for the same page, we passed that ID through input decorator from parent component. component. Here we will navigate to this particular component, so we need to use route parameters and all. Now let us go ahead and create some routing configuration. But before that, let me go and create one more component. I call it base not font component. Okay. Now already when you use Angular CLI, Angular version 7, it asks you that whether you want to add routing and or not. So I have already added routing module in our application. We are just going to create routes here. For that, open app routing here. Okay. So in routing, you already have everything configured. We need to create the route paths, and that can be created like this, which is already here, constant routes. And creating route is again very simple. Okay, so here you see I'm creating routes in line number 7, constant routes. Line number 8, if we go base URL/home, it will load products component. If it does not have any extension, it just has a base URL. For line number 9, it will load path home, which is products component. For products details/id, to load route product detail component, which we just created. And if no path matches, it will load a base not font component. So this is how you need to configure the routing. This is the basic routing. Now what we are going to do, we are going to now load this home component in the router outlet. So let us go and open app.component.html. In app.component.html, right now what I'm doing is I'm directly kind of using this app products here. Now it will be loaded through routing, so we don't have to directly do that, and instead of that we'll use router outlet, because we want to load different routes here, one for product and then when we navigate for the product details. So here we have router outlet. Now if everything is correct, again we should have output here, but let me go ahead and run this again. Okay, so this is taking time to compile. In the meantime, if you have question, please feel free to ask here. Great, so here it is, Webpack compiled successfully, and now if I'm here running it again, you see that URL has been changed to home. Now we got to find that when we click on these details, we should navigate. Right now it is loading it here, but we want to navigate to the different component which we just created. Okay, so for that, what I'm going to do, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to product.component.ts here. Okay, right now when you click on that, it says that it just does this selected ID, data, and so details. I'm going to comment it as of now, and we are going to use routing to navigate, and for that I'm going to use this.router.navigate, which is here, this.router.navigate product details and data, and router is and we need to inject again in there. To use router, you have to inject routes in constructor. So we'll say private, again in the constructor here, private and router, and then import this router here. Okay, so we are again we injected router service, and then using router.navigate going to product details, and in here we created that product details, and this the data will be passed as the ID. Okay, now we are passing this data. Now what we need to do in product details, we need to read that data. So for that, go ahead and open this router details space, and we need to read that data. And for that, what again we'll do, again we need to first inject here route parameters. So here we to work with route parameters, you need to inject activate route. Once that is there, how you can see that whatever is data is available is coming to this particular route, we can say this route parameters subscribe. Again, you can read route parameters in various ways. You can subscribe as a snapshot and all. Here I am reading that as an observable. So saying that p this dot product id is p dot id. So we have set this product id, and now we'll make a call to this dot get product details. Remember that in previous scenario we were making those call in ng on changes. However, we'll make this call on ng on init here. Great. Now if we go and run this, and let me see that whether it's running correctly, is compile and click on these details, you see that we navigated to different view, and here you are getting that data right there in your application. Now we don't have any back, so let us go ahead and add a back in our application. So for that, what I'll do, just right here, go to route detail HTML and add a back button. Okay, so here what I'm going to do, I'm going to in the back, and then I'm going to add a back button. In the back button, this just is saying that go to back, and then go ahead and create a function called back in the component class, and that function will again just navigate back to home. So here it is. Okay, and this is a function here, router, and we have to again inject that route as well to the constructor. So we'll say private route. Okay, so here what we have done, we have injected a route, not route, we have to inject here router. Okay, great. So now when that back button will be clicked, we want to navigate back to the home, but home here, which we are doing in line number 36. Let's go ahead and run this again. And here we have the back button. As you click on this, we are back to home. Again, go to details. We are back here. We are back again. Great. So this is how now you saw that how you can implement that master detail on the same page. How you can implement master detail on the separate page as well. Now in the demo here, I have this option. I leave that to you. You can go and implement that using reactive forms. That source code is already available on the GitHub. You can use it's just a reactive form, a radio button, and just some if and else conditions. Okay, so this is the way you can work with master details in Angular. Again, now what I want you to do right now, when you run this application, right, this application has a normal table. What if you want to implement, you want to have pagination and sorting and filtering and virtualization and editing and all these features on this table like a normal grid? How do you do that? For that, we have a solution for you. Go to Ignite for Angular. In Ignite for Angular, right here, go and start exploring our data grid. Okay, so let me go and open this data grid. So if you convert that table to data grid and send us a screenshot or send us tweet your screenshot, what all you need to do, you need to convert this table to data grid by reading here. We'll share this URL with you. If you send me that in email, your screenshot, or if you send me that over a Twitter or something, I'm going to send you some goodies if you reside in India. Okay, so here you can go and start learning about Angular, Ignite UI for Angular data grid. Working with Ignite UI for Angular is very simple. You can use npm just to go ahead. If I want to add a grid in this application, what all I'll do, I'll just go here and say that, hey, npm install Ignite UI Angular. Either I can do this, npm install Ignite UI Angular, or what I can do, I can go to my project and here I can say that, hey, open from here I can install the extension, and from there I can here I can say that, hey, open this Ignite UI for Angular toolbox for me. That is the another option I can do. Or third is that I can use Ignite UI CLI. So let me show you that how you can use Ignite UI CLI for your application. Again, if you are working with existing project, you can use npm to install Ignite UI in your project. If you are creating a new project, we recommend you to use Ignite UI CLI, so that you don't waste time configuring and all. So you see that that toolbox looks like this. If I want to add a grid, I'll just click here and say that, hey, add a grid in my application, and it will add a grid. In my application. See, it has. I just added in somewhere like in between the back. On the TS file, you should add it on HTML. But you see that it has created a code and everything, and it is installing required dependency and everything. So this is the way you can work with Ignite UI in Angular project. Okay, so it will take some time. Let me just take this. Now, if you want to work with Ignite UI CLI, you have to install that. And once that is installed, you can say IG new, and let us say M project, master project. Now, it will ask you for different options, as you can see on your screen. It will ask you that whether you want to create an Angular project, or you want to create a jQuery project, or you want to create a React project. Great. So as you see that what all we have covered today, to create an application is we learned about in-memory web API, then we learned about input, then we saw output in the action. Then we also saw event emitter. After that, we learned a little bit of routing, then how to use route patterns, and also we saw that how to use HTTP. So using all these, we created that. You can find these projects, like all the source code here on my GitHub. The username is debugmode.net and master details Angular is the repository name. It is hosted on Stackbase as well. We'll send you these in email, or we are going to publish a follow-up blog post for this webinar where you'll find recording of the webinar and link to those source codes. Again, feel free to go and learn our blog post. We have covered, we write on almost all the topics you can think of: JavaScript, Angular, design, WPA, Prism, ASP.NET MVC, ASP.NET. Feel free to go ahead and check our blogs. Also from the home page of Ignite UI, what you can do, you can download a free Angular book. That book will help you to understand these concepts better. So go to Ignite UI for Angular, and here you see that you have this free Angular Essential book. We'll share URL with you right here in the chat window, so that if you want, you can download that book. So let me first share that. Okay. So I guess everyone got that URL. Great. Well, so we are at the end of the webinar, and again, thank you so much everyone for attending today's webinar. I hope it was useful to you. If I'm just going to here you can find stackbleeds.github.debugmode.net is master details Angular. You may want to take a screenshot of this URL. Okay, once you are done, again, please visit Infragistics.com. You can download Ignite for Angular from Infragistics.com/product/Ignite Angular. If you have any sales query, feel free to write, if you are from India, to sales-india@Infragistics.com. If you are from APAC, write to apacsales@Infragistics.com. If you have any technical queries, that is my email address there, dkumar@Infragistics.com, and you can tweet us at Infragistics.com. So thank you so much. I hope you find this webinar useful. Feel free to write to me any question you may have, and we would be happy to help you with that. So once again, thank you so much everyone. I hope you like this webinar, and we keep doing these webinars each month. Feel free to come to those webinars as well. Once again, thank you so much everyone. We really appreciate your time. Thank you so much.